No one is asking him to disclose specifics about what we do. They're asking him whether a particular procedure, waterboarding, would be torture. And no matter what he says, it's no secret that waterboarding is a method some of our interrogators have used. Pat Buchanan, this seems to me to be totally disingenuous.
Look, you said it's a legal question. If it's a legal question, what does the law say about waterboarding? The law doesn't speak to it because the Congress refuses to declare it illegal.
So they need to declare each and every procedure. Removing nails, do they need to do about like plucking hairs from one's nose? Do they need to lay out every thing that is not permitted?
No, what they need to do when they're all been spending 2 months talking about waterboarding is define whether it is illegal or legal, torture or not, can be used or cannot be used.
So the answer is that the Attorney General, the prospective Attorney General, simply, let me go to Amanda on this, cannot answer this question without Congress spelling it out for him, just so I understand it. That's the argument?
Well, this is what I find interesting. The last Attorney General, Alberto Gonzales, was largely thrown out on charges of incompetence, and now we have an AG nominee who wants to read the classified information so he can make a competent decision, and you think this is a reason to spike him? No, but the classified information has nothing to do with the issue at hand. I can ask, and I'm going to ask him. Kaj Larson has been waterboarded, all right? Let me ask him. This is not classified. He's made a video of it. It's been on current TV. We've played it on this program. Kaj, maybe maybe you can explain to Mukasey and to Amanda and to Pat, because they seem to think that it's somehow classified. It's not. You had it done to yourself. A number of people have had it done to them, and I'm going to have them put up the video as you explain this. What does it mean to be waterboarded?
Well, I can tell you that I've had this procedure done to me twice, once during my time in the service and then once again on current TV, on national TV, and both times I felt like I was going to die. It's that simple.
We're showing the video, that's you in the videotape that we're showing right there. When you say you felt like you were going to die, I mean, here's some people who say, oh, you know, come on, it doesn't leave any permanent damage. What's the big deal?
I don't think the metric that we use to measure torture is whether it inflicts permanent damage. It's also illegal to tell someone that you're going to kill their family if they don't give you information. When you find out that's not true later on, it certainly doesn't leave permanent damage, but the emotional peril in the moment should be the metric for
and also, look, there's a definition of torture in the U.S. Code, Pat. I mean, it's not that difficult. An act committed by a person acting under the color of law, specifically intended to inflict severe physical or mental pain or suffering.
Let me tell you what I would. First off, John McCain, who has been tortured, is going to vote for Mukasey. Secondly, if an individual has planted a bomb and you know he's planted a bomb and it could kill thousands of people or hundreds of people or tens of people and you got him in custody, I think you got a moral obligation to do whatever it takes to get the information from him.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
You got a moral right to kill him. You got a moral right to put him under pressure.
No, Pat. Look, if you're telling me you're going to give me the ticking time bomb scenario, and that is if there's a nuclear bomb, it's about to go off in New York City, you've got the terrorist who planted it there, you're going to do whatever you can to get that information. Fine. But let's also at least admit that we are going to allow them to torture him if we think that somehow it'll help.
Well, look, you were talking just semantics. I would say yes to waterboarding. As for torture, outlawed by the Geneva Convention, you can't use it on prisoners of war. We are dealing with terrorists in situations like that. I would say yes. Is it torture? I don't know. If you want to call it torture, fine. But I don't think it does permanent damage. I don't think it is.
Amanda, I want Mukasey to answer the question.
Well, he can't answer the question because if he does, it will put him in the position of prosecuting our professional interrogators. I mean, we saw ABC News reported Brian Ross that waterboarding was very effective in getting information from Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Right. Now, if you're saying those interrogators should be prosecuted by Mukasey, I think many people disagree with
Right. That's what I said. Somehow, that's what I said.
Dan, what you want to do here is you want the Attorney General to say, in effect, that Americans have been torturing people.
I want to ask him.
And he's not going to say
I
it.
want him to give an illegal position on one of the most important issues of the day, Pat.
Dan, if it's going to be a legal position, why don't they write the law and say it's illegal?
No, but that's a congressional matter.
That's how laws are written, Dan.
No, Pat.
Congress writes
that's
laws.
not the only way law. That's not the only way law. There's also interpretation, Pat. There's also the fact that torture is defined in the U.S. Code, and then lawyers, judges, Judge Mukasey can make legal assessments as to whether it fits into the definition.
But you know what you want to do? You want to leave these guys in limbo saying, okay, we may say torture and we may not. Tell them what they're doing cannot be permitted. Make it the law. Congress is totally cowardly on this.
No, Congress has specifically passed a provision to protect interrogators. This isn't about the interrogators. What I fear this is about is an unwillingness to say it's torture because not because the interrogators are going to get prosecuted. Because Alberto Gonzalez could be in trouble for authorizing it.
Dan, you are trying to force this man to say at cost of his job something he may not believe. That is an inquisition.
No, I don't care what he says. Take a position, but don't play semantic games with the Congress.
Well, look, what do you mean don't play? Well, look, why doesn't Congress have A, either the guts to declare it torture, or B, the guts to reject him?
Because the bottom, I don't think they're going to reject him.
I don't think they are either.
Now, should this be enough to reject him?
No.
I'm not certain it should be enough. But you know what? It is totally disingenuous of the president to get up there today and give these 3 false reasons why Mukasey can't answer the question.
Well,
that's what gets me.
But you know very well he will be persuasive, and the Congress is going to let Mukasey go through.
Well, look, that's the political.
So
let me bring Kaj back into this. Kaj, explain to us the circumstances surrounding. Why did you go on TV to have this done to you a second time?
Well, I did this. I had the procedure performed about a year ago because there was this national debate going on, and pundits and policymakers were arguing about this issue of waterboarding, but nobody really knew what it was, so it was an intellectual exercise. So I decided to do this and have it done on current TV, have it aired on current TV, in order to put it in the court of public opinion and let the public, which is who should be deciding on this in a healthy democracy, judge for themselves whether it was torture or not.
Who are the people who were doing it to you there? Were they other people, former Navy SEALs, or people who work at Current? Who were they?
They were professional Army interrogators. They were ex-Army SEER instructors who I contracted to perform the procedure on me.
All right, but let me disagree here. I mean, this gentleman's obviously a brave young man, but let me say this. We're a republic, not a democracy. The men we elect make these decisions, and then we hold them accountable. That is the way it is done. And what we have now, we have this problem for a simple reason. Congress refuses to define it.
We can't hold them accountable, Pat, if we don't know what we're holding them accountable for.
I think you're exactly right. But now that you showed them, should Congress outlaw it and say, Mukasey, it can't be done?
No, but
There's
again,
another interesting point here, though. If this is something that we do as a part of training our soldiers, how could it be torturous or illegal?
Well,
I mean, that obviously shows that there's certain circumstances that involve duration, repetition, that Mukasey should have access to make an informed decision about this.
Again, he doesn't need access to anything else. Kaj can send him the videotape, and he will know enough. This is a judge who is presiding. I got to wrap it up, Pat.
Dan, do you really think we tortured our guys in the training?
Yeah, look, it's possible. Absolutely. I mean, why is that so far-fetched to believe?
Then should we prosecute the guys for
No, it's not about prosecuting them. It's about deciding what to do from here on in, Pat. Not everything is about the past.
You can also move forward.